Hey, so welcome to another episode of planetary retrogradation. Today we're going to be doing our friend Jupiter and what happens when Jupiter is retrograde in your horoscope. Now remember, this is strictly a retrograded planet in your horoscope, not when they are going retrogradation for everybody. Because every year some planet is going retrograde, and if you depend your whole life on this one planet being retrograde one after another, you're going to drive yourself mad. You're going to drive yourself insane. I have seen many retrogradation. I've actually noted down how my life is going. I have suffered more things when the planets are going direct than when planets are going retrograde. Okay, so I have done these things. So let's stick to only the planets that are retrograded in your birth chart, because those tend to affect you as an individual more. And when Jupiter is retrograded in your horoscope, what happens? Well, let's find out what Jupiter is, first of all, in your horoscope. Jupiter is wisdom, your education, your teachers, your happiness in life in terms of marriage, children, finance, home. All of these things are depending upon the condition of Jupiter. And so what happens when it goes retrograde? So when Jupiter is retrograded, usually this creates confusion in person's faith. Why does it create confusion in a person's faith? Well, because Jupiter represents religion, our spirituality. And when it's retrograde, people reflect a lot with this condition. They tend to question it. They tend to question, like, okay, am I really supposed to believe this faith? And why is it that I should believe it? How should I believe it? And they question themselves a lot more than regular people before they say, okay, this is who I am. Like, okay, I am a Protestant Christian, or I am a Catholic, or I'm like, I am Episcopalian. So that's what happens when the Jupiter retrograde. They are confused about their spirituality. They're confused about the things that their soul's supposed to believe in. But eventually they get it, because all the retrogradation does, it makes a person think a lot more about the condition that are related to the planets versus another person. These people also, if Jupiter is in the first, fifth, or ninth house, tend to not get delay in education, but have a very hard time in passing classes. Sometimes they fail a certain class and they have to repeat that class because of the fact, again, Jupiter is going reverse in their chart. It's trying to show them how to reflect on things. And the way you reflect on things is when you fail on things, okay? Their finances also go haywire in the beginning of their life, especially in their 20s. They are bad money managers early in their life, but Jupiter retrograde, between 35 and 50, they become very good in terms of financial planning, because of the fact they have seen so many setbacks regarding finance that they learn things that most people don't get to learn. So the things kind of go extreme in their favor. First time it's a negative extreme, then it's a positive extreme. Okay. And Jupiter, what it does, it's also responsible for bringing spiritual teachers in your life. So what happens with this is you may find spiritual teachers on time, but you'll be confused. You're like, are you sure you're teaching me the right thing? Okay. And let me also tell you one thing about this Jupiter retrogradation. Whenever you see a Jupiter retrograde in your horoscope and is sitting with the moon, in astrologically, it's the best conjunction you can have in your horoscope. If Jupiter and moon are together, it blesses you with a happy mind. It blesses you with a good mother, spiritual mother, makes you a happy-go-lucky person. But when it's retrograde, that's when you're kind of confused, because moon feels like, hey, I'm with my best friend in my same apartment. But then your best friend is going through depression. He's like, man, I'm depressed. So what happens is the mood changes in the apartment when the moon and Jupiter are together and Jupiter is going retrograde. Moon's like, dude, come on, lift up. So this is the best way to explain it, that it creates confusion. You're happy, but then you also feel unsatisfied in life when this conjunction happens. And also, retrograde Jupiter, tend to make a person very spiritual after a certain age, especially after their late 30s onwards. They become very spiritual because of the fact they have seen so many setbacks in life, things related to Jupiter that are very vital for us. Is that they feel like, I want that zeroness, I want that enlightenment, and they search for that and they usually find it. because not every time a retrograde planet is going to give you bad results. It's not supposed to. It is, you got to look at divisional charts too. What if in divisional chart, in your D9 chart, where you see the dignity of the planets, your Jupiter is very well placed. So what is it telling you? That you're eventually going to pass through this retrogression of Jupiter in your life, and you're going to realize something in your life, and you're just going to be a happy person after that. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis on Jupiter retrogression. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because that's what I like you to do. Thank you. And if you want to know more about astrology and myths and misconception of astrology, check out my link below, my website, and my book on astrology. It'll open up your eyes. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow with Saturn retrogression. All right? Bye-bye.